A few years ago, my mother died, and about a week after her death, I had a dream. And in the dream, she and I were walking together. And as we came to a street, we stopped and we looked across the street, and there were shops. And the shop directly across from us was a dress shop. And in the window were many dresses. And there was one particular dress. It was white with a few beautiful patterns in it. And my mother knew that was her dress. And then she went across the street. The dream ended. And I tell you about this dream because we hear today in Revelation to John of this great multitude of people, a sea of humanity, of every nation, all kinds of languages and peoples and tongues. And they are robed in white. And as the vision progresses, the person who's receiving this vision, is asked a question. Who are these robed in white, and from whence have they come? And he says, "Sir, you know." And so he's told, these are they who have come through the great ordeal, and they have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. And because of this, they are gathered there at the throne, at the center of God's being. They are sheltered there, and they are cared for there and comforted there. They're led to living water by the Lamb, and God takes away every tear. And in that image, we can see the fulfillment of the Beatitudes. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Maybe not here, but there. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for what is right. They will be filled. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Theirs is the kingdom of God. Blessed are the peacemakers. They are the sons of God, the children of God, the daughters of God. Blessed are the merciful. They will receive mercy. And the Beatitudes really describe both the ordeal, the great ordeal. You see that we walk. To walk through this life and through this world, and walk as people of faith in a world that challenges that faith in many, many ways, and tests that faith and discourages us and beats us down, and we're poor in spirit, and we're even persecuted. And if my mother were here to hear me speak about her, I presume she doesn't know I had this dream, but maybe she does. To hear me speak of her going to receive her white garment, her white robe. And in a sense, on this Feast of All Saints, to be saying she's part of this gathering of the saints, the blessed, I think she'd be at least skeptical and maybe even laugh. Because my mother was painfully aware of her failures. And she was very much aware of the ways in which she wasn't a kind person sometimes. And she was very aware of her brokenness. And she struggled with depression through her life. And I think she might share the misperception that I think is so common among Christian people, that in order to be a saint, you cannot be a sinner. And Martin Luther just spoke right to that. And he used the word simultaneous. We are simultaneously sinners and saints. You're not going to not be a sinner in this world. And yet, you are among the saints. That a person can be a saint and have darkness in them, and struggle and brokenness in them. A person can be a saint, a faithful witness, and yet in other ways fail in that witness. Because as I looked at my mother's life, I saw how she hungered and thirsted. It made her so angry, and it agitated her heart to see people in Pittsburgh lying homeless on the street. And it upset her so much that there would be children who were not properly fed or clothed or educated. And it tormented her to see that there were people who had illnesses and diseases that were curable but were not given treatment. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. And my mother chose a career in nursing and then psychiatric nursing. And perhaps because of her own struggles, she had deep empathy and wonderful, wonderful ministry to people who were struggling emotionally. And for many, many years, gave herself to that work. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the poor in spirit, because she saw her poverty. They will inherit. And so today, as we come and celebrate the Feast of All the Saints, and we see this wonderful image of all the people gathered and robed in white, and it says that interesting thing, they washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. They struggled in that great ordeal. They struggled to be people of faith. And I believe that that very struggle is that agitation of washing, that desire to be faithful. And may we be encouraged to see that we, aware of our sin, our brokenness, our struggle, are also aware that we're the children of God. And we live in a world that increasingly does not honor that. And we live in a world that agitates us. Don't you feel that? Aren't you hungry and thirsty to see what's right? That's the life of God in you and in me. Honor that. And though we will fail in many ways to do things that we perhaps should be trying to do, on the other hand, we will do things that show we're the children of God. And so perhaps we will be surprised, as I suspect my mother was surprised, to hear a voice say, "Blessed are you. Come, inherit the kingdom that was prepared for you by my Father from the beginning of time. For I was hungry and you fed me. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you cared for me. I was a stranger and you welcomed me." You cared. When? When you did it for the least. And so when the saints go marching in, I want to be in that number. Do you want to be in that number? Yes. Yes. You are in that number. You are in that number. Keep the faith. keep the faith, and go marching in. Thanks be to God.